Hey guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Crafting Bookworm. Today I have a book tag for you. Okay guys, welcome back. Welcome new subscribers. Thank you all for your continued support. Whether you're here for books or you're here for crafting, I really appreciate it a lot. So I have a book tag for you guys today. And I actually was watching Storm over at Storm Reads, and she had this book tag. She didn't tag me in it, but she said, if I wasn't tagged and you see this, feel free to do it. So I figured it's been a long time since I've done a book tag, so I thought I would do this one. Okay, so the first one is, do publishers ever do things that you find annoying? Share an example. Now, I've seen a few of these, and, a lot of people do say, the stickers on the front of a book is annoying. And it is. It is really annoying to have stickers on the front cover of your book. But even more annoying than that is when it's not a sticker. That bothers me so bad. They'll have something, as seen on Netflix or soon to be on Netflix and whatever, and they're not even a sticker. You can't even take it off. It's just imprinted into the cover. And that is really, really annoying. And I think Storm had mentioned in hers about the cover changes and stuff that they go through a series, and that too is really annoying. Or sizes or whatever. Like, I've been reading the Chris Carter books, as you guys know, and we ordered the last book of the series, and it was way bigger than the rest of the series. My husband surprised me with the entire series and got it before that one was even out. It came out last year, and he had already bought all the Chris Carter books for me. And so, I was feeling like I wanted to finish that series up, and he ordered me the last one, and it was bigger, and it stands a good probably 1.5 inches taller than the other books. And I don't understand why things can't just stay the way they are. I don't understand why they've got to change up, or even the designs of the covers. I read the Thorn of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, and I was fortunate, and I found all of them in that original cover. And now they got brand new covers for that. So I'm thankful that I have all those books already, because and they were changed a lot. I guess I imagine that if you are just now getting the books, maybe you wouldn't mind that as much. But if you're already halfway through a series and you're buying the books and you can't find the original cover anymore, and all you got is this new cover, so it doesn't match the rest of your books. I mean, I know we may sound, kind of anal over this stuff, but, it really does affect, people who collect. I have a ton of books, and I do like, my books to match. And more so now than when I first really started getting books. It really didn't bother me as much, but now it really does kind of bother me. So those are my two biggest ones, I guess. As far as the stickers, I'd rather have the sticker than having it printed into the book cover. That drives me even more crazy. Okay, so number 2, have you ever been annoyed by a spoiler, even something as simple as someone telling you that there is a great twist? If someone does spoil a book for me, I really don't like that. Even though probably 9 times out of 10, I'll forget what that spoiler was they told me. But I really don't want to know it, especially before I even pick the book up to read it. Like, if I'm already halfway through a book and someone gives me a spoiler, then it kind of like, I wanted to figure that out for myself. If somebody tells me that there's great twists, I love to know that, because I feel like if I know there's a great twist, that there's a great twist. So I really don't mind that part, but I do mind being spoiled. Maybe if I've not started it yet, I might not want to if I know a specific spoiler about something. Okay, I'm trying to keep myself from rambling on these, you guys. Okay, the next one. Have you ever been annoyed by what discovered in a little free library, a book sale, or a used bookstore? Have you ever been annoyed by what you discovered in a little free library, a book sale, or used bookstore? Um, Not really. We've only been to one little free library, and it was a fun experience. We had Avery when he was little. He was with us, and he found a couple books in there. So we don't really use the little free libraries. When we go to our used bookstore, they've got millions of books in there, and I'm not really disappointed by. I might be disappointed if I can't find a specific book that you think would be there, but other than that, not really. Number 4, when it comes to short story collections, are you annoyed if there's a novella in the middle of the collection? I've read several Stephen King's short story collections. Um, I didn't really pay attention if there's a novella in the middle of it or not. So I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, I imagine it could be annoying because, you're reading little short stories and then there's this bigger one in there. I've just not run across that. So I can see how it would annoy somebody, but I can't really say for myself. Okay, number 5, deckled edges, beautiful or annoying? Beautiful through and through. I love deckled edges on books. I feel like it adds so much to the book. I don't feel like it infringes on turning the pages or anything like that. I've always loved deckled edges. I think it's beautiful. I actually even bought a deckled edge page trimmer because I plan on doing a journal in the near future that's going to have deckled edges on them. So I really like it. I don't know anybody personally that really doesn't like deckled edges, but I'm sure there's people that don't. But I really enjoy it. I think they're beautiful. Number 6, other people's annotations in a used book or a library book annoying. Are you okay with it? I feel like, well, like Storm said, if it's a library book, you should not be annotating in that at all. But if I would buy a used book and there's annotations in it, it used to bother me. It used to bother me because I I annotate in my books now all the time. If it's a favorite book, if it's a profound book, a book that I think I'm really going to enjoy, then I will annotate. And when I go to the used bookstore and I find a book that has annotations in it, I think it's kind of cool to see, where they were going with something or what they picked out of a story. I think it makes it really fun to discover that. I don't find them very often. Now, if there's a bunch of scribbles and stuff through a book, that's a little annoying. I generally won't buy the book. But if it's annotated, I don't really mind it anymore. Not like I used to. So I guess it's because I've gotten to the point to where I will annotate in a book. I figure it's my book. If I want to annotate, then, I will. But, yeah, it doesn't really bother me anymore. Where, as when I first started really collecting books and stuff, it was a little more annoying. And I always swore I would never write in my books. We change. We evolve. Number 7, if there's a series or a collection of certain books, like an imprint, and changes are made, are you annoyed or okay with it? If yes, give us an example. Well, this kind of goes back to the annoyance of publishers doing things, but it is annoying when something is changed a lot. Like I said before, covers. If those are changed in the middle of a series, that is very irritating. That's probably the only instance I can really think of. I don't really notice a whole lot of different things. Maybe size of print, maybe print size in books. I'm getting older and I'd like the print to be a little bit larger. And there's some books, like the Sarah J. Maas books, that print is really, really small. And if it starts to bother me, then I'll read it on my Kindle where I can adjust, my font size and stuff. But really, the only thing that really would bother me would be cover changes. Number 8. Do the decisions of characters in a novel ever annoy you? Share the book and decisions you found annoying. There's one that I always talk about that really bothered me. It wasn't so much the character, it was the author, and that was Jeffrey Deaver. And and him taking Amelia in the series in a different direction than what she was currently going in. I didn't finish that series because I didn't really like where he was taking Amelia. And I can't think of the name of the series right off my head. The very first series that he started, the Lincoln Rhyme series. And he was taking Amelia in a direction that I really did not like, and it really bothered me a lot. And this happened also, for me anyway, in the Dean Koontz series of Odd Thomas. I loved Odd Thomas as a character, and I just feel like he changed him. He evolved him too much through the series, and he just started turning into a person that I didn't recognize as Odd Thomas. Even though I'm reading the series, you would think you would evolve with him, but I feel like the changes are so much. I know these aren't decisions, it's more the author's decision to do it. And I know in books, when characters make decisions to do stuff, it's the author that is making those changes. Those are the two that I really think of off the top of my head that really made me stop reading the series. And I don't know whether they go back to the normal structure of the character later on in the series or not, but if they're going to ruin it midway through a series, I'm not going to pick it back up. And Odd Thomas was one of my favorite characters, and you can evolve them without making too much change. I read the Will Trent series by Karen Slaughter, and he was just my favorite character all through the series. So yeah, I didn't like those changes in those two characters. It just really bothered me a lot. Okay, 9. Are you ever annoyed by how someone organizes their books, and what do you find annoying? I feel like, your books, you organize how you want. I have no say in how somebody else, arranges their books. But I have to go along with Storm on this one. When they color code their books, that has always bothered me. Just more for me, if that's their thing, that's fine. I'm not going to, post a comment in a video and say, hey, you need to put your books, in a different way. I'm not that person. I'm not going to do that. But I know if it was me, I could never, ever organize my books by color. Because as Storm said, that's going to break up your series. That's going to break up your authors. And my library is alphabetized. So it all goes by author's last name. So I can go right to the alphabet, to the letter of their last name, the first letter. And I can go right to their books and find what I need. If it was color coded, I'd be like, oh, what was the color of that book? Oh, where did I put it? I'm too organized to do something like that. I need it to be a simple structure, and alphabetizing for me is that's the best thing for me. So, go you if you want, everything by color. That's fabulous if that works for you. But for me, no, I've got to have it simple. It's got to be simple structure. Okay. Share something bookish that you find annoying. I don't really have anything for this one. I don't know if maybe I'm not understanding that question, but yeah. And then it tells you to tag somebody else, and there's one person that I am going to tag, and that is Bobi over at Paginator Reads and Journals. Bobi, I want your take on this, and I hope that you do this tag because it was actually fun. It lets you get out, your thoughts on this stuff. So if I don't tag you, I'll be like Storm and say, go ahead and do it. If you want to do this tag, you feel free to do this. I will link Storm's channel down in the description box below. And yeah, so Bobi, I hope you do it. If you guys have done this tag, direct me to your videos and I'll come watch. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.